Hi everyone, welcome to another discussion section right here at the APVA Awards 2024. I hope you're enjoying the awards because the kings of the games have been revealed and we're excited about it. Okay, so here we are going to be interviewing one of our judges at this award. She is a judge at the spoken word categories, and I cannot wait to have her on board to talk about her experiences as a judge and insights she's taken so far. She's an award-winning poet and writer based in Nairobi, Kenya. She is a recording artist, a script editor, a stage manager, costume designer, an MC, everything you can think of in the creative art space. And she calls herself a creative entrepreneur. She's the founder of Female Poets KE, and she uses our art to advocate for positive change. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about no other person than Wangui Kimani. Hi, Wangui.
Hello.
How you
Thank
doing?
you. I'm doing amazing. Just a little baridi. Baridi is cold here in Nairobi, but generally
Hmm.
I'm doing good.
Interesting. I see
Yeah.
it's kind of like cold across the continent lately. I was speaking with someone from South Africa the other day, says the same thing. But then we are Africans, aren't we? We
Yeah,
can
we
we
are.
can go through
So what
it.
does it mean that we're Africans? We don't feel cold or
We feel cold, but we have tough skins, you get. So we can go through the thick and the teens. Okay, so
yeah.
let's get to business, right? Um, you
Okay.
you're a spoken word artist and amongst many other things that you do. And
Yeah.
it's a pleasure to have you on board as one of our judges. And I'm
Thank
sure
you.
that when you heard about the APVA Awards and you've seen the things that we've been doing for the past 3 years, and also being a part of the award, it gave you I'm curious to know how you thought about it, like what you felt about it and your perspective to why you you think the award is essential for the spoken words industry in Africa as a whole.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear your perspectives.
Okay. So spoken word is an art that is funny thing. I feel like spoken word has existed like from way, way back then because I mean spoken word is creating something that makes sense and then speaking it. Sometimes even speeches can be spoken words. It's just how you present it and how you, yeah, more of how you present it and how you perform it to the people. But then again, as an art, it has not been here for quite some time. I don't know if it's the same in Nigeria, but in Kenya, it has not, we can't say that it's been here like music has been like for quite forever and ever. But then again, the progress that spoken word has been making is quite crazy. Like it has been growing each and every year. And the community as well has been growing. Like there's a period that we'll just see like the same people like just doing spoken word. But at the moment, like you see people emerging each and every time. Like we have different poets, which for me, honestly, it's so exciting. And also the fact that there were not so many females doing spoken word poetry. And I mean women, we are the ones who talk, I don't know like how many words like in a in a day. We should dominate this thing. That's just for me. I feel like this should be more dominated by women, but that's not the case. But I mean, in future, I'm so sure that we're gonna dominate this space. Another thing about the awards is that I feel also voice artists, like you, I assume you're a voice artist, you have an amazing voice. I hope we'll tell you that the fact that also voice artists are people that we have only just been hearing behind the scenes. They're like, nice voice, but people have not really celebrated the people who do voiceovers. They have just been maybe mentioned, they're doing an amazing job and all that, but awards, not something that I
Mm,
have seen. So
mm,
I was quite intrigued by the fact that you are focusing on people who are using their voice. Well, musicians use their voice as well. But if you're listening to someone either doing poetry or a podcast, I think there is a possibility of you noticing the voice because in music, then we have like a lot of tunes in there. But
yeah.
sometimes spoken word or a podcast, it's not so concentrated with a lot of things. A lot of things could just be the words and the voice. So you either way you have to listen to the voice or the words you choose. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
can
mean,
totally.
it's interesting listening. I think you answered the question actually, talking
Okay.
about how you feel seeing an award to celebrate audio creatives in Africa, and that
Yeah.
was a very good answer. So
All right.
let's talk about the behind the scenes. You are a judge, and I'm sure a lot of people who entered their works for nomination, they would be so curious. What were the criteria that were considered while
Yeah.
selecting the preferred? And also you've been going through series of entries. There are certain things that you would have realized by now, and you would wish if you had the opportunity to sit down with the nominees, if you could tell them, oh, next time you do this better, or don't do this, or I love what you did and this is why you're scoring an extra point. So we want to see, or we want to get some insights from the back end. What are the things that you encountered and you wish to share with us?
Yeah. So let me give you the tea.
Yeah.
This is where it is at. It was so fulfilling for me. And I mean, it felt so nice, like being on this other side as well, like just going through the different submissions that people had sent. And just generally, they were amazing. So now
Mm,
let me start scrutinizing. The thing is, if you are an artist, I think you know, or if you don't know, then you're supposed to know your strengths as a person. What
mm,
do you think you're best in? I didn't like the criteria where there would be one person sending videos for all the submissions. I know you are trying your luck to whichever works best, but the fact that I have come across your video for the first submission, the second, the third, the fourth, I'm now starting to lose interest in your work. At
mm.
least two will make sense. Like just look at what you feel is your strength. Kabisa, kabisa, kabisa means sana. Hey, not me using another lovely word. But just make sure that you look at what you feel you are best at and then do submissions for that particular work.
Mm,
For that particular category. If you feel that you are good in your words are the best, then you know where to put it. If you know you have done quite a lot of work during the year, you know where to put it. Like just with the different categories, look where you fit best instead of yeah, putting your work like everywhere. And this was my thought like during the judging process, which the people who sent the videos were good at what they do. But I felt there could be much more competition if videos came from all over Africa. And the fact that for me as a person, I shared with my audience, but also it would be nice you as an organization to collaborate with other organizations. Like next year, I know Female Poets KE will have already registered as an organization. So collaborate with us so that like people or also different organizations in the different countries so that it's much easier for them to for the awards to reach the different people.
All right, thank you very much, Wanguri. I was able to pick up the things that you talked about having, you mentioned things like making sure that people understand their strength and submit their entries in places that they believe they will shine best. And also, how this fosters a lot of collaboration and things like that. So yeah, thank you so much for that. All right, just before we go, one more question. Seeing that
Yeah.
developments like this are happening in our continent already, where do you see the spoken word space going in, say, the next 2, 3 years from now?
Ah, amazing. First things first. Spoken word is quite a powerful tool, and sometimes I feel like people really don't understand how powerful it is. And the fact that at the moment organizations are so invested in using art to create change, so in their to create positive change, so in their launches and everything and in their campaigns and all that, this is what I might not know where the industry will be in 3 years, but when we do certain things, then I feel like spoken word will be in a better place in 3 years. And these are the things that I will advocate for. Like if you are an artist, especially a spoken word artist, and you are out there, what exactly do you want to advocate for as a person? Then use your art, because I mean, you just don't know the kind of tool that you have in your hands and the power that you have. So just affiliate yourself with things that you want to advocate for. If you are advocating for climate change, go there, create art around that, educate people around that. And also another thing that I'm really pushing for, like I know most of the people maybe in Africa might be speaking in English. In East Africa, you might find people who are speaking in Swahili. In Nigeria, we have people who speak other languages, like also create content around that language. It's not everyone who might understand your language, but it's very nice to use vernacular language so that you can communicate to your community. Like, speak to them, let them also enjoy this spoken word poetry, And the fact that we want to create change through this art, it's nice that also the people from your village, let them understand what you are talking about. So as we are talking to these international people and people who speak in English, also let's not leave out the our village people, because these people want to be part of the change. And if we don't include them, the ones who don't understand English, then I feel like we're being selfish, especially if you have the capability to speak in your vernacular language. It also has so much power. So as we speak our English, don't forget, just include the vernacular in your arts. Yeah.
Wow, that was well said. Thank you so much. I love the submission, especially the inclusion point that you raised towards the end of your answer. And that's so brilliant. So thank you so much for sharing your time, sharing your flavor and color to the conversation right here at the 2024 APVA Awards. It's been a pleasure interviewing you, Wangui, and I can't wait to see the rest of the winners as we proceed in this event. All right, Wangui, thank you so much for your time.
Amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, there you have it. One of our judges just gave us the tea right here at the APVA Awards. Let's get back to the rest of the awards. I'm T-Code, and I'll see you later.